Hi, it's me JD and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be about congratulations cards. Now I have a pile of jewel-toned cardstock that I already cut down to an A2 size, and I have this fun stamp set from Catherine Pooler Designs, which features a variation of different congratulations sayings and different categories of types of congratulations that you would send to someone, such as congratulating them on a new job or new house or a baby. And so this set is really super versatile, and it comes with these fun kind of I don't know what you call these, maybe corner or corbel designs. Anyway, they're really fun to decorate up a corner or use them as design elements on your cards. So what I'm doing is I'm sticking the card front into my stamping tool. I'm going to ink up the stamp in some VersaMark ink. I'll swing the door over and make sure I get a good impression. But before I do that, I always remember to use my anti-static powder tool because I'm going to be doing some heat embossing. I'm going to be heat embossing the same embossing powder on all of these cards, just to A, save time, and B, it came together really nicely as a set that I could gift someone if I wanted to. But it came out so pretty that I think I might just keep all of these cards to myself. And so I decided to just break out, a good old acrylic block to stamp the other corner pieces, just to speed things up and not have to shift it on my MISTI every time. And now I'm pouring the embossing powder over, which is this really pretty sparkly platinum embossing powder. It's one of my favorites, and I'm pouring that over a coffee filter to catch up all the powder. And I'm also working on Easy Clean mat to prevent further damage to my desk. I don't know if you can tell, but it's seen some good use. When making a set of cards like this, I prefer to use a zone defense rather than go man-to-man coverage. If you don't follow football, that means I kind of like to work in batches. So I do all my stamping at once, and then I cover with powder and to make sure the ink doesn't dry up. And then I'll heat emboss them all at once, and then I'll do any embellishments to them all at once, rather than complete one whole card and then move on to another whole card. I think the zone defense or the batching, it just seems to go by a lot quicker for me. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm pouring powder over my second card, making sure to get as good and even coverage as I can. This powder is very glittery and staticky, even though I use this powder tool. I don't know why, it just is. It's just the nature of glitter, I guess. If you have any stray powder, you can always use your finger or like a paintbrush to flick off any of the excess. I always keep one of these paintbrushes handy when I'm heat embossing. I also keep a Swiffer wipe handy when I'm heat embossing too, because glitter and powder just seem to get everywhere. No matter what I do, no matter if the door is closed, the fan's off, it's in my hair, it's on my fingers, it's on my clothes later, it's on my face somehow. I don't know. I'm just a mess. At least I'm a glittery mess, which is probably the best kind of mess to be. Alright, back to the cards. So I'm on my last card front, and I finally figure out a system that worked for me. It just took 5 cards. So what I did was I stamped the sentiment first, covered that with powder, because on the other cards my sentiment was almost a little bit dry by the time I got to powder it after I stamped the design elements. So I decided to stamp the sentiment first, then stamp the design elements, then cover that with the embossing powder. And that seemed to work really quickly. When I poured the powder on, the powder clung to every stamp detail, whereas before I had to almost pour it over 2 or 3 times to get the powder to stick on the inked areas. And so now I'll just funnel all of this pretty powder back into its little container, which I really wish they made a wider mouth, but whatever. I guess a wider mouth on a jar would be kind of harder to pour from. Maybe they should make a funnel, like an embossing powder funnel that fits that tiny little jar. Anyway, so now I'm heat embossing all this into batches because my heat gun is already hot, and so it melted this powder like a breeze. I had little to no warping on my cardstock, and so half of this cardstock is actually like really decent, like 100-pound cardstock, and the other half is the cheapy stuff from Michael's. And so when that didn't warp, I knew that my method of heat embossing in batches worked really well. So now I'm going over and doing some ink blending over the top with a coordinating ink pad, and it just happened to be a coincidence that I picked the cardstock first, and then I happen to have ink colors that match, and all of the ink colors are from Catherine Pooler. And yes, I did get glitter on my ink pad. I told you, the stuff just gets everywhere. But I was able to wipe away that top layer of glitter with the regular Swiffer cloth. I don't really know who the originator of this technique is from, but I know, I'm sure a bunch of different card makers have done this technique, but I think I saw it on Yana Smakula's Instagram, and she makes beautiful cards. And so when I saw her card, I was inspired to make this batch of really colorful, bold, jewel-toned cards. I'm also using a Swiffer cloth just to buff away where I inked over those embossed areas to help bring back the shine. I should also mention that these inks blended like a dream over this colored cardstock. Remember, half of them are like the cheapy stuff from your local craft store, and so I didn't know how it was going to work because I usually ink blend over Bristol Smooth cardstock, and I was surprised that ink blended so nicely on this cardstock. When doing this much inking, I highly recommend using some kind of mat that wipes really easily to help protect your surfaces, because I'm inking a bunch of different colors, and so I would have to wipe it clean almost every time in between, and this easy clean mat really helped out. So now that my set is complete, I actually went back and added some gems to those little design elements, and then when I'm ready to use these cards, I'll just use the same stamp set and add in a personalized sentiment. And whoops, I got a runaway gem, so I'm just gonna add some glue and pop that bad boy right back on there and let this dry. I got too excited to show you guys a set of cards that I did not let it dry in time. Sorry. Sue me. Okay, anyway, that is my set of congratulations cards. I hope you guys were inspired. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit the button below, and be sure to stick around for the next video. Thanks!